Hi everyone. In this video and through the next series of videos, I'm going to show you how to use the PyroIgnitionControl software with the FireTek Firing System. The first thing you want to check is make sure you're using version 2.0 or newer of the software. Next, to make sure the software is set up correctly, first go to Settings and then Options. From there, find the Ignition System tab and click it. Make sure the FireTek module is selected. The COM port is not important and will be discussed later. So let's go ahead and start our first program. First thing we need to do is add a queue, and that's done with the Add Queue button. In the Add Queue screen, there's a number of things. First thing to notice is a slave ID, and that correlates to the given FireTek module ID. So in this case, we're using module 1. The output correlates to the given rail and queue on that rail. So we're using rail 1 Q1 for this queue. The break time is the time at which you want the effect to break in the air. So we're going to say that's 5 seconds. The duration is the total length of the effect. So we'll say it's 2 seconds. And the delay is the time from when the effect is fired until when it breaks in the air. So we'll say that's 2 seconds. The rest of the options here are purely informational. You can add them if you'd like. Gives you extra information, but it's not necessary at this time, so it's going to hit save. At this time, you're going to see a couple of things. First of all, we have queue number 1 here. It's in group 0, and then you see the associated information. So your slave ID is 1, the output we chose, and then the associated time. The one thing I wanted to make mention was the group number. And if you noticed, our first queue was created with group 0, and that's the default group. Group 0 correlates to the first or initial program on the FireTek. So when you arm up your remote and hit start or program start, it'll immediately start playing through group 0. So I'm going to go ahead and create a couple more queues to round out our small show. For this one, we're going to have the same slave ID 1. Output is going to be output 2 now, since you already used 1. The break time, let's just say, is going to be now at 6 seconds. So they're a minute apart. I'm sorry, a second apart. Duration again is going to be for, let's say, 2 seconds. And the delay is going to be for another 2 seconds. You see that got added. Q2 now is the same group number, group 0, and run output 2. Let's create one more. Slave ID 1 again. It knows that we use 1 and 2, so we're going to use output 3. Break time is going to be 7 seconds, with the duration again of 2 seconds, and a delay of 2 seconds. Now you can see we have 3 queues created, outputs 1 through 3, and on the screen, as an added visual benefit, you can kind of see a visual representation of your show. The gray is from the start of the ignition time, and to the green, which is your break time for all 3 events. A couple more things to point out on the visual side. So right now we have Q2 selected. If you notice on the screen up here, the vertical line that's white is shown as your Q2. So if you click Q1, you can see that changes. Also, if you would want to, mock run through your show, you can actually hit play pause, and it will run through each part of your show. And if you notice, going from green to yellow to red down here, and stop that. Green means the queue is good to go, it hasn't been fired. Yellow means the queue has been fired, but yet hasn't broke yet. And then when the queue turns to red, that means at that time, that given queue has broken the air or whatnot. So the last thing I want to do for this intro video is show you how to send your show to your Firetek system. I already have my FireTek FTM99S remote connected via USB to my computer, and I have my FTH48 module connected as a slave to my remote. So now we need to save our show and export it to the FireTek system. To do that, we need to go to Window, then Ignition System, and then we're going to export the show in the FireTek format. We're going to save it just as demo, and then hit save. Export successful. So now we need to open up the FireTek show designer to send our show to our FireTek system. Alright, so I have the FireTek show designer pulled up on the interfaces screen. As you can tell, I have my FTM remote and my FTH module shown, and the module is ID1. To import and send our show, first we need to import the project. Clicking our demo file, hitting open, it says it was successfully opened. We don't need to load an audio file. Now all we need to do is hit send project to interfaces. And now that we sent our project to the FireTek system, our show is good to run. And with that, I'm going to conclude this introduction video here. In the next video, I'm going to talk more on the advanced features of the PyroIgnition software, such as doing sequences from within the FireTek system. Thanks for watching.